Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of What the X. This is What the X episode 61. We're in the 60s now. I appreciate everybody that tunes in and watches these videos. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel out. Again, thanks for everybody that does tune in. And we're just going to get started. We got some big news today, guys. Maybe the biggest news, maybe huge. But we're going to talk about the government shutdown finally ending, so that's good for all the federal workers that haven't been getting paid and everybody that wasn't getting their SNAP benefits. A lot of craziness with the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Just to give you some context and what X, or formerly Twitter, would do or is doing right now is having the news articles like of what's trending, and they actually were that was one of the biggest headlines I should say today. Sorry, a little stuffed up from allergies and whatnot, but let me just read it here for you guys. Trump signs bill ending historic 43-day U.S. government shutdown. President Donald Trump signed legalization late Wednesday to reopen federal agencies until January 30th, 2026, following a narrow 216 to 213 House vote where 6 moderate Democrats joined Republicans. The 43-day shutdown, the longest in U.S. history, resulted in up to $14 billion in economic losses, unpaid wages for 800,000 federal workers, and widespread service disruptions amid partisan disputes over spending, immigration, and healthcare. Trump blamed Democrats for the impasse and renewed proposals to reform Obamacare by redirecting subsidies directly to individuals. So Trump's main complaint about Obamacare, guys, is at least how he explained it in the CBS interview that I had watched with him signing it, and just basically lambasting the Democrat Party and saying that it's all their fault, this and that. He's just always talking about how the Republicans can do no wrong. He's full of himself as always. But what's crazy is when he was talking about the subsidies being paid directly to individuals. He wanted them to shop for their plans, and I did like, and this is kind of one of the reasons I'm more conservative, is he used a word that I do appreciate, and I respect all the small business owners that make America run, all the big business owners too, just the entrepreneurial, God, that's a hard word for me to say, but the that spirit of entrepreneurial. I think that's right, guys. Correct me in the comments if I just completely butchered how to pronounce entrepreneurship. Yep, it's hard to say. Apologies. But I do like the energy of, like, hey, being your own boss, feeding into the community too, creating jobs, but with that mindset of doing things for yourself. The whole mindset of I'd rather learn how to fish for myself so I never go hungry. The old saying of, feed a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man how to fish, he never goes hungry. You guys know what I'm saying. And I think that should be the same with this, instead of, like, he was kind of just making the argument that they throw a lot of unnecessary money when it should be more affordable for your health care. There's a lot of arguments there, guys. I'm not directly working in the healthcare industry, so if anyone can enlighten me on this too, or how Obamacare may not be perfect but has good valid points to it, ensuring this many people got covered, which everyone should be covered. How do you make something a human right that, like, needs to be paid for too? There's a complexity to the healthcare industry. And there is money. Capitalism kind of ruins things too, in a way, even though capitalism can be great. Just like, if you think about it, communism could be great too if the human element wasn't involved and you didn't have greed, corruption, other things that are inherently human. Then maybe these systems could just work perfectly. But I think that's another thing that hampers the healthcare industry is the money that's tied to it too. I'm just happy that the government shutdown is over, that people are getting their their benefits again, because as much as we like to talk about SNAP and all these other welfare programs or whatnot being abused or being taken advantage of by people that maybe don't necessarily need it, there is people that do need it and are also affected by that as well. So it is important to make sure that we get the services for the people that do need it, and it's too hard to be vetting every single person. We just need to get it out there too. But of course, I'm always about accountability and transparency. These things should be addressed. And then I did want to bring up another tweet from a controversial figure that I do like to bring up from time to time, Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate had this to say: "You are the CEO of your own life. Hire, fire, and promote accordingly." And if I had to give any advice for the Democrat Party, it's that you need to probably fire some leadership like Chuck Schumer. You guys finally got rid of Nancy Pelosi, who's like, 80 plus years old. And then there's probably some other people that you guys could look at getting rid of for maybe some newer voices. And then as far as Andrew Tate has a point of like, hey, do things again, that entrepreneurial spirit. I think I'm saying it right because I've said it so many times, guys. That entrepreneurial spirit in doing things accordingly, right, for yourself, to taking that initiative and hire, fire, and promote accordingly. And I wish that we had more ability ourselves, guys. I mean, it's like we got two parties to realistically pick from, Democrats or Republicans. Both of them are responsible for this shutdown. Don't make it seem like, oh, it's just the Democrats who had this happen. I mean, there was these people could not come to an agreement. They had demands with the subsidies that they wanted to put in. But it's just bad leadership from the Democrats and their messaging that just makes it worse than where they started. And I think that what I wanted to say with Andrew Tate's point is that we should be looking at better leadership in general. I wish there was like a realistic third party that could disrupt the current status quo that we're in. Why does it have to be Republicans? Why does it have to be Democrats? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not ashamed to admit it, but I was a RFK Jr. Voter. I was going to be independent. I was going to vote for him because I liked his messaging and everything, and he didn't seem like he was going to be controlled. Of course, he did go to the Republican side with Trump. That swayed myself. I think that swayed a lot more people than a lot of these arrogant leftists like to say. Oh, you voted for RFK Jr., or you would have done that? You're crazy. And it's like, who's really crazy? Because you alienate so many people from your side, you're bound to not have enough votes. And I think Trump did a good job at bringing popular people in, like Tulsi Gabbard, too, was another big one. A lot of people, not the South Park creators, but, I mean, even they've made a meme out of J.D. Vance. And I just feel like the leadership and, like, the picks that he's making, because who's a better CEO than Trump himself, Hiring, firing, and promoting. That goes, again, to Andrew Tate's point. And then to me, it's like, are these Democrats that arrogant that they really thought that they could out-negotiate the guy who's on the cover of the freaking Art of the Deal? The guy's known for making deals. And, like, let's not lie here. He's all about spectacle. He built a brand new ballroom, maybe the greatest ballroom. He's just the greatest president. We're doing greater than ever before. And it's like, you got a guy who's trained better than these politicians, honestly, on how to talk to people, even though these politicians are very well trained, because I can't stand any of them. And then they shut down for 43 days and they didn't get any demands out of it. It's like, you guys got absolutely schooled. It's like Trump has said so many terrible things and done so many bad things. He's outright, if you guys even follow CoffeeZilla, he's a guy that talks about crypto scams. You got a president who legit dropping meme coins that are getting rug pulled. We got the Wild West out here. He's freaking pardoning the Binance CEO. He's just like, there's a favors system that we're clearly seeing where people are getting pardoned because they supported this guy. And he's still as popular as he is because the Democrats are that unpopular. And then they were doing so well, they won some elections in some blue territories, and it was looking like they were picking up some momentum. And then they go and capitulate, and they let this happen. It's like, because for sure, I would have never wanted to have a government shutdown. Never would have been on my mind. And these people had the audacity to think that Trump was gonna like bend to their will, like that was really gonna happen. This guy's unhinged. He literally did a meme of him in a jet. It's all AI's crazy now. Him in a jet flying over a bunch of liberal protesters and dumping literal poop on them. This guy's unhinged, and you think you're gonna negotiate with this guy? You think you're gonna be able to get this? This guy would push the red button before he's gonna let you beat him in a deal. The deal. It's like these people. It's just, I even, it would be wrong of me not to include some of my own tweets here. And please follow me at NedNerbM, because Brendan Moranin always would appreciate it. Try to get that X going too. But I wanted to say this, and I feel like this goes directly towards that Democrat leadership. Hopefully we can see an actual, like, real third party, an independent party that could shake up the whole system, because Republicans and Democrats, it's really just one stupid uniparty that has concessions, has a win and a loss, win and a loss. It's like they're both still there. Those are the only people really representing us, which is freaking crazy. But this is what I got to say to these guys. Not every hill is worth dying on. Choose wisely or lose more than you gain. Yeah, you like that, guys? This is original thought, because I was just thinking about the whole situation. I'm like, not every hill is worth dying on. Choose wisely or lose more than you gain. And then just one more along those lines. Another tweet here. Choose your battles wisely or risk ending up in a worse position than when you started. And that's exactly where these people find themselves. The Democrats find themselves in a worse position than when they started. Because now all the people that were on their side saying, hey, pick up the good fight. These Republicans are willing to let us starve. Good job, Democrats. Let's make sure we get our insurance benefits at the same time. Push it. Make sure that you're making sure everyone's covered, and do this and that. And then 43 days in, people have been suffering already, and you do this and you fold, you cave under pressure. In taking on this battle with Trump that you foolishly thought you could win, you made yourself look even worse and like you really don't care about the people. And to me, that was the biggest failure in this whole process. It's like, do people, like, how are these people running the country when they can't even think steps ahead? Have they ever played a game of chess? It's like, you have to understand odds. They need someone that can, like, throw statistics out there. Get some NBA statistician or something from one of these freaking teams that, who talks about free throw percentage and all this stuff and talk about the win percentage. You got to get to one of these CNN analyst guys who always gets the numbers out and be like, hey, what's our percentages of winning against Trump on a deal? The guy who makes deals for a living all his life. And I guarantee, it's just like, I knew this was going to happen. The worst part, I didn't know that the government shutdown was going to last as long as it did. I would have never wanted a shutdown. I would have, you know what? It's like, yeah, you can't get everything you want, but you got to choose your battles wisely. And I just think that they totally fumbled. It's like, maybe it could have been a touchdown, slam dunk, grand slam, whatever you want to call it, but they caved. And in doing so, high risk, high reward. This could have worked so well for these guys, and instead, they fumbled, and it blew up in their faces, and it looks bad, and it gives Trump, the guy who, like, let's not lie, he's probably on the list. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we talking about? The guy, he's not a good person, and he still is more popular than you guys. Even to me, I think he's more popular than a lot of these Democrat idiots out here that are just making it worse for the people that they're always talking about helping out. Well, put up or shut up. And we need to see something. When I say we, I'm talking about the American people. I don't identify as a Democrat. I honestly don't even want to identify as a Republican. I'm an American first and foremost, and I would wish, that we could see that we only have the illusion of choice, and that we need a real divergence from the political cesspool that we find ourselves in. Things need to change. Both parties are working in cahoots. Let's not be attacking each other, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what I feel like they want, is us to attack each other, when the real enemies are working together. That's all I was wanting to say there. But I'm sorry, and I always say I'm sorry for getting on my soapbox, but this is what the X is about. This is a political channel. You know what I'm saying? So whatever disagreements you may have, or whatever opinions you have, feel free to engage in the comments section. Of course, I always say keep it respectable. Nothing racist or hateful or anything like that. We got enough of that in the world. Just try to have like an open, productive dialogue. Try to hear other people out. I have to look in the mirror, say that to myself. Tolerance. Be able to listen to your fellow American. And hopefully when we do that and we unite together, we can stop the true dividers, who are the Republicans and the Democrats, and all the politicians out there that are, not working for us. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. This has been another episode of What the X? If you like that clip, feel free to click on this clip or even this clip. And then, hey, don't forget about that clip over here. Thanks, guys.